Loneliness feels like living in a vacuum. It's an unhappy time.
I do worry as I get older. I can't do certain things. I find it rather depressing.
It feels like a rejection that you're sitting here all by yourself and nobody wants to talk to you.
Loneliness can feel utterly miserable, especially so for older people whose close circle of family and friends has gradually gone from their lives. But for anyone in the UK aged 75 or over who is struggling with loneliness, there is help out there through a charity called Re-engage. Now, I've been involved with them for many years, and through their work, they make sure that older people aren't living their lives in isolation. Like Jane, a former school teacher who lives by herself in Newcastle.
I am 88 years old, two fat ladies, as they say at the bingo. I'm relatively healthy and I try to get out as much as possible, but it's very hard being alone.
Jane cared for her husband John for more than a decade as he lived with dementia.
That was the one that I quite liked, just the two of us.
After he died, she had to adapt to living alone.
When you've lost your partner, that makes it worse, kind of, because you are all by yourself. It's very hard to fill in the time in a worthwhile way. At Christmas, I got 50 cards from people. And I thought, how can you have 50 friends and then you can't get somebody to go out for lunch with? And it's like a rejection that you're sitting here all by yourself and nobody wants to talk to you.
Re-engage hosts monthly tea party groups across the UK. Now, these are free for anybody aged 75 or over to attend, with travel to and from the event organised by the charity. These meetups give people like Jane a much-needed change of scenery, a chance to socialise regularly and something to put in the diary and look forward to.
I like the business of getting dressed up and deciding what to wear. That's part of the fun. Hello. I'm lost with admiration for the people who give up a Sunday to take people who wouldn't go anywhere. From the tea parties, I feel that I've got friends that I could call on if I needed help with anything. I would be lost without them. Oh, that's lovely.
The charity also supports people over the phone, pairing an older person with a friendly volunteer for a regular phone call. Now, this routine helps people living by themselves feel more connected to the outside world. They can enjoy a really good chinwag and have their spirits lifted. Charles is 92 years old. He was evacuated to Aberporth in Wales during the Second World War and moved back to the town to retire with his wife, Maureen.
We married very young. She was 19 and I was 21. She was all I would wish for, and very kind to everyone. Without her support, I wouldn't have gone anywhere, really.
Maureen passed away in 2020.
I've never got over it. I miss her so much, I can't tell you. The loneliness is something I'm struggling with all the time. In a way, I wish I'd died at the same time, really. I just get very depressed, very depressed.
To help Charles overcome his loneliness, every week he's been speaking on the phone with Kelly, a volunteer call companion for Re-engage.
Hi Charles, how are you? Charles does struggle with loneliness, so it's about being really a listening ear. There's bound to be tough times, I think, in anyone's life, and helping Charles through that is important to me as a call companion.
It's nice to think that that call's coming in and we can talk freely, and that's a very important thing to be able to do.
Have you had a good week?
They're very busy here.
Oh, excellent.
I feel better for talking to Kelly, obviously. I mean, it gives me a lift and something to look forward to.
Keeping active is a great way of improving our physical and mental health, as well as keeping us independent for longer. Now, to ensure that older people have the opportunity to exercise in a friendly, encouraging and supportive space, Re-Engage run a variety of activity groups. Ginny is 77 and lives by herself in Cardiff. Recently, her health deteriorated after contracting COVID-19.
I seemed to go downhill very quickly, actually. They put me on a variety of different oxygen masks. At one point, they didn't think in the way that they put it that I was going to make it. That was a horrible period.
After spending a month immobile in hospital, Ginny's strength and mobility suffered.
Even now, 2 years on, my balance is appalling.
To help get around, Ginny was forced to use a frame and a walking stick.
You just feel very helpless and incredibly frail, really. The fact that I can't do certain things now, I find it rather depressing. And I am a very independent person, and I don't like the thought of losing it.
To help motivate herself to stay fit and active, Ginny started attending the charity's bi-weekly chair yoga sessions.
It's very nice to be with a group, especially if people of a similar age. When you're in a class, any group actually, you do push yourself more. And I try my best when I am in a class to do everything that is asked of me, which again is very good, because to make oneself do it on your own at home is extremely difficult.
Since attending chair yoga, Ginny has regained some of her mobility.
I do feel that there is an improvement. Now I can walk around the house without a walking stick. So it's a definite improvement.
For the charity Re-Engage to continue to help reduce loneliness among the UK's older population, they need your help. Your donation could ensure that more people like Jane benefit from the social interactions of the Tea Party groups, that more people like Charles have the support of a weekly phone call, and that more people like Ginny enjoy staying active and independent for longer. So please give what you can. To find out more, visit the charity's website, www.reengage.org.uk. Thank you.